Muhabbetle selamlıyorum. Kıymetli kardeşim,
My dear brother, Palestinian,
Sayın Mahmoud Abbas,
Mr. Mahmoud Abbas and his delegacy has been welcomed and has offered hospitality in our country. In last May, we, during our visit to Ramallah, discussed second mutual committee meeting between our respective nations. Palestinian Prime Minister Mr. Türkiye 2 weeks ago attended Konya Islamic Union Games opening ceremony. With this, Islamic Union Games also saw a silver and 2 bronze medals won by Palestinian sports people. I congratulate them. With Mr. President and his delegates, we discussed Turkish-Palestinian ties and how to strengthen them with what steps that can be taken. People of Palestinian development has been our topic. Also, we have discussed and exchanged ideas on regional developments. Palestine and Palestinians are always welcomed in our nation. As always, for our union with Palestinian people and our support for Palestinian cause has been strong. Palestinian government's announcement has been recognized and their state has been officially recognized on Turkey and always have defended Palestinians on platforms. With Israel's attacks in Gaza, this population and civil life losses have been reacted accordingly. In attacks, 2 Palestinian children were wounded, and for their treatment last week with an ambulance plane, parents included, have been flown over Ankara State Hospital. From here, I wish to offer condolences to those who lost their lives in the recent attacks, patience for their families, and I pray the health for the wounded. Jerusalem and Masjid-i-Aqsa's status change has been resulted from certain actions which we do not agree with. Our sensitivities and expectations on these regards we have also communicated to our Israeli counterparts directly. With our ties in Israel developing, it does not mean that our support for Palestinian cause is weakening. Quite the contrast. We take these steps to support the Palestinian cause and development of Palestinian people's prosperity towards our Palestinian brothers. Among them, the union and negotiation efforts are also closely being kept watch of. And in this regard, we are ready to give support necessary. TİKA, Crescent Moon, and Turkish NGOs towards Palestine have given aid in humanitarian and development sides. Due to Russian-Ukrainian war for food security, the application of some restrictions have not included Palestine. The Jebin Industrial Zone project with Turkish Chambers of Commerce has been conducted. In June, the Turkish Chambers of Commerce delegacy have visited Palestine on field, conducted their auditing. The Jerusalem University girls' dormitory construction has been finalized with TİKA support and been managed by Marif Foundation. Palestinian sovereignty and independence relies on these students, and the official name given has been my mother's, which I am cherishing. Dear members of the press, UN, Palestinian migrant aid support program has seen our support towards the agency. We offer monetary and food aid. As with previous years, we have continued to serve aid to the agency. We are aware of economic situations of the agency. We urge the agency to recover from financial problems for the stability, health, and prosperity of Palestinian people. We will continue to do our part as Turkey. In arts and culture, we will continue to support Palestinians. Palestine Youth Orchestra in last July, with the attendance of the First Lady, have held a concert in our country. Our Palestinian brothers' international travel preferred choice was Turkey. We are glad to say that. With Jerusalem and other regions, we incentivize Palestinian tourism. Within the UN parameters, the 1967 borders have designated an independent nation of Palestinians with Jerusalem as capital. For the regional peace and stability, once again I wish to reiterate, is a necessity. With these, as I end my words, to Mr. Abbas, my brother, and to his delegates, I thank them for their visits, and I wish for the best from our meetings.
شكرا فخامة الرئيس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فخامة الأخ الرئيس رجب طيب أردوغان حفظه الله، يسعدني أن ألتقي بكم مجددا أخي فخامة الرئيس هنا في أنقرة لبحث سبل.
Once again, from here, we are glad to be offered to your hospitality. We, in our discussions, have evaluated many bilateral ties. With President Erdoğan, we come together often and we exchange experiences and knowledges. And in a friendly, in a family-like environment, we get the opportunity to discuss all ties, be it regional or international. And we also talk about Turkish role in the global food security. And we know that in these troublesome times, know that Turkish stability efforts have been most grateful. On the other hand, as both nations, our ties as brothers have been open to discussion as to what we can do. In that regard, Mr. President Erdoğan towards Palestinian people has shown much grace with a stern stance on supporting our peoples, which I wish to thank. The rights, freedoms, and independence of our people has benefited greatly from his support. Republic of Turkey and organizations of Turkey in every regard have supported the Palestinian government and people on international arenas. Dear esteemed guests in attendance, President Erdoğan, when it comes to Palestinian problem, in recent times has been informed towards our people and our land and our holy sites. The ongoing invasion of Israel has been not ignored, and he reiterated it. Within international law, we abide by the laws signed and underline the importance of laws, especially in terms of settlement placements and the schools, homes, and buildings owned by Palestinians being broken down. The release of prisoners and conducting and delivering the martyrs' bodies are some of our expectations. Did you know that Israel arrests and keeps even the bodies? Does it punish the martyrs themselves or their families? Similarly, towards East Jerusalem, there has been attacks towards Muslims and Christians alike, with their important religious sites being targeted in recent times. Towards schools, there has been attacks. It is impossible to accept these facts. The occupation and strikes of Israel with villages, cities, and Palestinian campsites every day in organization and unity, Israel strikes Palestine. The foundations, organizations, even international humanitarian aid-focused ones are being targeted in claims of being terrorist cells. We can see that the time is against us, and these attacks must stop because we barely have the strength to continue existing. I wish to emphasize that security and peace go hand in hand with a bilateral solution developed by both nations and a permanent ceasefire. With this, we wish to reiterate that within 1967 borders, a confederate solution is possible, but the other de facto systems established for a single state effort supported by Israel's side for security is a hindrance and also may come up with further problems in the region. That's why, not to escalate problems between Israel and our respective nations, for security and prosperity concerns, we rely on International Security Council and United Nations. To the international community, we call out for a confederate-like solution on the land. A two-state solution is important. What matters here is to get in contact with nations, and for this solution, we will ask them, do you support this idea to eventually, as aligned with our goals, return to 1967 borders with Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine? Similarly, in UN Council Article 49's implementation on field for Palestinian refugees and migrants shall be realized in objectives. Every method and meaning is our method, but we, if returned back, will use our strength and resilience. We are against terrorism and gang-like warfare. We, unlike they paint, are not terrorists or militiamen. We are open. We keep our doors open for two-state or a confederate-like resolution, and will intensify our contacts on international scale. In United Nations, we want to be a permanent, full-time member. As you know, last years we were an observer nation, as I've told you right here a couple years time. But having permanent membership towards our realization of this, it is the Turkish effort, the Turkish communication that helped us to reach observer status and hopefully in the future full-time membership. We will continue our communications in terms of security and international recognition, and will continue to contact secretariats of every platform necessary to realize our objective of two-state solution, with the UN Secretary General hopefully calling for an international conference. Mr. President, I wish to thank you for your hospitality, your interests, and your kind approach to our matters. Turks and Turkey, with Palestinian resolution in their minds, I am ever grateful. I wish to express my prayers for your safety and health, as well as your people. I wish to say, thank you, Turkey. Let us be brothers forever.